Hi, thanks for joining me today on my live video. Today I want to continue talking about Jim Rohn. I mentioned last week I've started listening to his Audible, The Ultimate Jim Rohn Library, which is about 10 plus hours of audio which he has recorded and live trainings and such. So unfortunately Jim Rohn has passed away in 2009, but his audios are still there and they are powerful on areas of growth, self-improvement, wealth, health and success. So this week I want to talk specifically about reading. Jim Rohn has tons of quotes. If you search for quotes on Jim Rohn, you'll find there's so many out there, but specifically on reading, this one I found quite challenging personally. So he says that successful people had libraries and the rest of us have big screen TVs. So successful people have libraries, the rest have big screen TVs. So I can't claim that I don't watch a lot of television myself. I like watching Netflix and various series on Amazon Prime. But I think what Jim's getting at is the fact that if you spend more time watching TV and less time reading, you're going to be less successful. So he's basically saying that successful people read books, successful people have libraries. So if you think of other successful people like Warren Buffett, for example, he is another person who loves to read and probably has a massive library and probably cares more about his library than he does about his bank account. So people succeed because they're learning constantly through learning about other people and how they've succeeded and overcome challenge. So with books on growth, wealth, health, success, biographies is a big one which I like to read too. If you're learning how someone else has succeeded, overcome a challenge, so any challenge that you might be dealing with or struggling with, there'll be someone else out there who has the same challenge and has written a book most likely about how they've overcome it. So I think that's a great place to start. So I do have a physical library. I've got some books here, I've got more books over here, I've got boxes of books. Leanne, my wife, is obsessed with the fact that I've got so many books and I've got no space to put them. It's a concept, I keep them organised and tidied away, so I can't actually unfortunately have them all out at any one time. But these days my biggest library is actually on Audible. So since 2013 I've built up a library of about 96 books, and the number of books I'm reading on Audible is growing all the time. So I think most days I'm reading for about at least an hour, or listening should I say. And when I go out my runs, I've mentioned this before, that I'll listen to audiobooks rather than music when I'm out running. So if I'm out for like an hour and a half run, then there's an hour and a half of audio that I've got to listen to and be learning something whilst I'm out there training. So getting fitter, getting healthier, and also improve my mind. So a story. So back when I was about 8 years old, I got diagnosed with dyslexia. So that's limitation, challenge with spelling, punctuation, reading out loud, something else I struggled with. And I think before the age of 8 I didn't really read much. But I got a teacher who got me into reading, and as well as I was learning other techniques about spelling, punctuation, and just basically how to overcome dyslexia. But a year or so later, I had a friend stay over at my house, and they left behind one of their books. I think it was a book on the Hardy Boys, sort of an investigation series, and also for the three investigators. I can't remember which. But either way, I started reading that book, and from that point forward I was obsessed with Hardy Boys and Three Investigators, as well as Enid Blyton and any other sort of detective books. So that's what I started reading when I was younger, to the point where I would start reading some books and then not put the book down until I was finished. So I might spend 3 or 4 plus hours reading until I finished that book. And I'm convinced that amongst other things, reading is what helped me overcome my dyslexia, and I now see it as an advantage. It's helped me with my punctuation, grammar, imagination, comprehension, spurred me on to improve myself, and I no longer see it as a limitation. So I want to just share that with you today. Any struggles and challenges that you might be having, there's someone else out there who's written a book who's overcome the same challenges. So why struggle yourself when you can learn from someone else who's had similar challenges? So that's why I love reading so much, because you're able to learn from other people. But the key thing, as much as you read these books, it's a matter of putting into practice these things you learn, taking action. And that personally is the thing I struggle with as well. So that's what I want to leave you with today. Build up your library. whether it be physical or like myself with my Audible library. And yeah, see how you get on. Any questions or comments on that, as always, I would love to hear them, and look forward to speaking to you again next week.